Enjoy your treats. Have a great day. Okay, Mia, that is 2 more tallies for the peanut butter blossoms. Oh, hey there, mathematicians. Welcome to our neighborhood bake sale. Mia and I have been busy for the last hour selling our delicious baked treats. We're keeping a tally of our cookie sales to see which type will be today's top seller. We've got 5 different types on offer: chocolate chip, peanut butter blossom, snickerdoodle, jelly sandwich, and meringue. Mia thinks the chocolate chip cookies will be number 1, but I'm rooting for the snickerdoodles. Based on the data we've collected so far, which type seems to be the most popular? Wow, there are a lot of tally marks next to the peanut butter blossoms. Interesting. It's still early though. We have plenty of time to gather more data, but we're kind of running out of room for all these tallies. There must be another way we can collect and easily review this data. By the end of today's lesson, you'll be able to design different types of graphs using the data from our cookie sales. You'll also be able to use these graphs to answer questions about the data. Have your guided notes ready? And let's find out which cookie will be the bake sales star. We've been keeping a tally of all the cookie sales so far. Each tally mark represents 1 cookie, and a diagonal tally bundles a group of 5. So far, we've sold 8 chocolate chip cookies and 6 meringues. Pause here to record the number of tally marks next to the other cookies. This collection of data shows we've also sold 11 peanut butter blossoms, 2 snickerdoodles, and 6 jelly sandwich cookies. Data is a collection of information, like tallies, numbers, or measurements, that we use to learn something new. So what can we learn from this data? Quite a bit, actually. Which type of cookie have we sold the least of? That would be the snickerdoodles, with only 2 sold so far. And are any cookies tied for the same number of sales? Yes, we've sold 6 meringues and 6 jelly sandwich cookies. Using tally marks like these is one way to collect data, and here's another. What kind of data is being collected here? This is showing how many pies, cakes, and brownies we've sold so far. This is called a line plot, and it's very similar to using tally marks. Each X represents 1 item sold. So, how many pies have we sold so far? 3 X's means we've sold 3 pies. Ooh, good idea. Mathematicians, we're running out of space for tally marks, so let's transfer our cookie data to a line plot instead. First, we'll start with a line with 5 marks, since we're collecting data for 5 different cookie types. Those will go along the bottom. We sold 8 chocolate chip cookies, so we'll record that as 8 X's on our line plot. Pause here to finish the line plot with the rest of the cookie data in your guided notes. Mia's line plot and my line plot don't look the same. I have the right number of X's by each cookie type, so what did we do differently? Remember, we've sold 6 jelly sandwich cookies and 6 meringues. That means the line plot should look the same for those items, like the way Mia made hers. When working with data and line plots, it's important to record the data accurately and clearly so patterns can stand out more easily. Now that we know more about our data, let's explore how we can turn all this information into graphs that showcase our bake sales success. A graph is a picture that's used to visualize data. It's a way of turning data into bars, lines, or other shapes to help us compare and notice patterns. Check out the graph Mia started making with our pie, cake, and brownie data. Notice it has a title, Morning Treat Sales. and a table with two columns. One column says type of treat, and the other column says number of treats sold. Notice the key at the bottom? It says one muffin shape is equal to one treat. How many muffin shapes are in the row next to pies? 3, which is the same number of pie sales from our line plot data. That's because graphs are just a different way of showing the same information. This type of graph is called a pictograph. Pause here to use muffin shapes and the line plot data to complete the rest of this pictograph. 2 muffin shapes for the cakes and 4 for the brownies match the line plot data and complete the pictograph. Nice work. You know, the line plot from our cookie data reminds me a lot of another type of graph called a bar graph. What's the same between the bar graph and the line plot? What's different? Pause here to record at least 2 observations. Notice how instead of X's above each cookie type, there are rectangular bars? That's where the bar graph gets its name. Just like our line plot, the bar graph also has the cookie types listed along the bottom line. This line is called the x-axis and goes horizontally from left to right. The bar graph also has a y-axis that goes vertically from bottom to top. What's listed along the y-axis? The numbers 0 through 12. The bar above chocolate chip goes from 0 to 8, which shows we've sold 8 chocolate chip cookies so far. Notice how the y-axis is labeled number of cookies sold. What do you think would be a good label for the x-axis? Probably something like type of cookie. Finally, all graphs need a title so people know what it's about, so we can match our line plot data and call it morning cookie sales. Let's figure out what these graphs can tell us about our bake sale data. A big reason for graphing data is to understand the information being collected, like our morning cookie sales. We're only an hour into the bake sale, but by analyzing or carefully examining the data, we can discover more details. So, how many cookies have we sold so far? Pause here to record your thinking in your guided notes. We can add 8, 11, 2, 6, and 6 for a total of 33 cookies sold so far today. How many chocolate chip cookies and meringues have we sold altogether? Well, 8 plus 6 equals 14, so 14 chocolate chip cookies and meringues. And how many more peanut butter blossoms have we sold than snickerdoodles? We've sold 11 peanut butter blossoms, but only 2 snickerdoodles, so we can subtract. That means we've sold 9 more peanut butter blossoms. Based on the data collected so far, which cookie do you think will be the most popular at the bake sale? Maybe the peanut butter blossoms, but you never know until all the data is collected. So, what have we learned today? Besides the fact that we'll just have to wait and see which cookie type is the bake sale champ. Well, now you know that data can be collected using tally marks and line plots. Pictographs and bar graphs are used to show data visually. You also know graphs can be used to compare, notice patterns, and answer questions about data. Be sure to complete the practice questions and extension activities that go with this lesson to practice graphing and analyzing data. Looks like we have a line of customers ready to buy their treats. Mia, are you ready to track our cookie sale data on the line plot? Remember, mathematicians, in math, as in life, practice makes progress. I'll see you next time.